Flawless! Yes! We did it! We introed without a mistake. It's been like 6 weeks since we did that. It's 9:03 a.m. Pacific, September 26th. Jacked up, ready to fly. Who wants to be rich and respected? Beginning as soon as 2024, your life on a brand new trajectory. You've got 3 months to radically change your life. Can you do it? Can you go from entrepreneurial zero to digital marketing hero? Is that possible? Of course it is. You're probably already on your way. Terrific. Congratulations. But if you're not where you want to be in life, this stream is for you. Flying out of the gate, how to be rich and respected in 2024. I'm going to give you a 90-day pathway. You're going to look back January 1st to this very moment that you watched this video and you said, I surrendered, I committed, I went all in, and look where I am now. What's up, chatters? Put some ones in the chat if you're ready to fly. Remote capable, unstoppable, unshakable. Let me ask you a question. Are you sick and tired of not getting the respect you deserve? I know I am. I know I've been working my ass off for years. Still don't get that respect. Don't get no respect. Don't get no respect. It's hard to get the respect these days, isn't it? Everybody's so busy with themselves. They don't notice. They don't see the value. Well, we need to shake it up. We need to become illuminated, magnetic. So if you're looking for a bit more respect and dare I say it, power, would you like to take your power back fully? The power over your time, the power over your location, the power over your network. Would you like that power? Are you opposed to having more power? Can I trust you with more power? And if you don't have any power right now, and you just got off work, or you're at work, or you're in a 9 to 5, or let's just call it the rat race, because there's a whole bunch of us who might not have a job, but we're still in the rat race, right? Do you want to get out of the rat race? I do. I did. I only care about getting out of the rat race. I mean, that's the ultimate. In this silly world we live in, I think the ultimate is for any rat to say, I am no longer in the race. Let's face it, you're a rat. I'm a rat too. 1984, year of the rat. Although I'm born early in the year, so there's some question of that Chinese zodiac there. But we're all rats. It's okay. It's okay. You know? But I'll tell you something. Getting out of the rat race, incredible feeling. Best feeling there is for a rat. Can you argue with that? To finally end the race? I mean, what does that feel like? What would that be like? What's required to achieve that? What's the price you must pay to exit the race? And are you willing to pay that price? I think that's what we're going to be talking about today here on the Rich and Niche YouTube channel. We are having a 30% off sale right now. Go buy our Masterclass. It's incredibly low priced. I'm going to be doing a walkthrough of the Masterclass later on in this stream because there is some major news. It's closing down. Don't want you to miss out. Stay tuned. But for now, let's get you powered up. Here's the first thing I want you to do. Write this down. Write it down, baby. Number 1. Accept that you do not know enough yet. Sorry, you don't know enough. We must all do this. You see, successful people are always learning, always making themselves more valuable. and that's the beginning of the path to becoming more respected, exiting the rat race, is accepting you're not that knowledgeable yet. You might be intelligent. You might have done well in other things, but for some reason there's missing knowledge. Like, I can't track what you know, but I bet this is where you should start, okay? Just a little bit of humble acceptance that there's more to learn. You can be brilliant, but there might be more to learn there. Okay, write that down. I do not know enough yet, and I'm willing to learn. Number 2, once you begin to learn more, make sure you learn the right things. Recognize that if you do what everyone else does, you're probably going to get what everyone else gets. So not only do you not know enough, you're going to have to find a little bit of a strategy here to get out of the mainstream, okay? I can tell you that Steve Jobs or a Jeff Bezos or an Elon Musk or even any Fortune 5000 success, they were not sticking to the middle path. They were doing something outside of that. That's the only way. Okay, there's far too many people in the middle. There's nothing interesting really happening there. But you also don't want to go too far out, right? You have to be cautious. So there's just some strategy there that you need to think about. So you don't know enough and you need a plan. And it can't be taught by someone who has what you already have. You're going to want to get your plan from people or someone who has what you want, right? So seek guidance, okay? Your first action is to seek guidance and develop that plan of action, right? If you aren't where they are, ask them what is the missing knowledge. One quick question, expect some discomfort here, right? Already you're starting to feel resistance. I have to do something. No! I promise you, stick with me here. You may have to do a lot less than you think, but maybe your mind is blocking you from even thinking because you are trained to reject unknowns. That's okay. But someone who has something you don't is telling you something. How do we get power back? Let's break that down. Well, I think it's about leverage and authority. The ability to say what you want and make it come true, and to have the ability to execute it with strength. Leverage is going to give you a lot of power in many different ways. And how do we get leverage? How do we get authority? Okay, we got to go another step deeper. So power is sort of a function of maybe multiple elements in our life. Let's see where we get to with leverage and authority. What about respect? How do we get more respected? Well, it's easy to say success. If I become successful, I'll have respect. Maybe not. You see, I think respect is ultimately a multi-dimensional thing. You can't ultimately just have one side to you and everything else is lost. So we have to be well-rounded. We have to be multi-dimensional. We have to be serving multiple areas, people, units, family. Leverage, authority, multi-dimensional. Let those words resonate with you for 3 months. Okay, here's where it actually gets tough. Number 4, I don't know if I was counting the steps before, but whatever. Number 4, accept that you have to become great at something. I mean, what else do you want, right? Why do we live our life pretending we don't have to be great? And when did the idea of greatness leave us? I think as children, we appreciated greatness as soon as we saw athletics, sports, even authority figures, teachers, skilled people, talented people. They stood out, right? Becoming great at something is just a matter of time. It really is. It's just a matter of sticking to something. It's really not, because so few people do it that what is considered great is really not even that tremendous, but it certainly stands out. To be the GOAT, the greatest of all time, that's another level. I would wish for you to hope to do that, but I'm not telling you have to be the GOAT. I don't want you to think it's that difficult to succeed and become rich and respected. No, there's many people who are not the GOAT that are rich and respected. So that's not the rule, right? But they were great at something, maybe sales, maybe branding, maybe networking, maybe building things, maybe strategizing, helping people, maybe mental power. So at this point, what you need to do is you need to take a hard look at your skills and strengths. Now, those are two different things. So are talents. Those are all different things. A lot of people get them mixed up. You can learn skills, you can build skills, you can develop a skill, and a skill can be turned into something of value. A strength is something that you're naturally better at than other things. I am personally strong at something called maximization. It's about getting the most out of something. Whereas maybe I'm less good at listening or organization, right? There's all sort of different areas of ourselves that we can kind of consider. And what I did many years ago, and what many other people have done, is they take what's called the Clifton Strengths test. It's the #1 test in the world for assessing your strengths. Because part of becoming great is about doubling down on your strengths and avoiding your weaknesses. You don't want to fix your weaknesses. You want to fix the skills you don't have. Because a weakness may never ever bring you money just because you fix it. So you want to have awareness around your strengths and weaknesses so you can utilize that knowledge on your pathway to becoming great and developing skills that are going to be in alignment with your strengths. Right? If you're very detail oriented, if you're very organized, that's going to lead you to doing slightly different skills perhaps in life than someone who's maybe more empathetic, intuitive, flow, So awareness is what people would say, self-awareness, having understanding of who you are. Are you floating in life without any sort of self-assessment? Have you tried that? I think it's not intuitive to do that. And you have to spend $50 for the Clifton Strengths test. So it's like, why would I? You should. It's going to give you a list of all your strengths ranked in order and your top 5. And I bet you that will help you as you become great, save you time, save you pain, save you money, because you weren't swimming upstream. You had a sense of what you are and what you're good at, because everyone's different. No one gets all strengths and everything. It doesn't work like that. Many strengths are polarities. You find yourself on a spectrum. So I guess the #5 is that you deepen and develop skills and additional skills. Before you go anywhere in life, you get skills. I mean, you can get a job without skills, but that's why you're replaceable, or that's why when you leave that job, you don't really have anything to work with. You have to start again in many cases. You were merely a loyalist in that corporation, and your raise was more attuned to your loyalty rather than your skill set. And here again, as you double down on strengths and manage and avoid weaknesses, you're also in control of the skill development roadmap. So you get to say which skills you learn in your life. You can say, I'm going to learn knitting. I'm going to learn painting. I'm going to learn cooking. Or I'm going to learn copywriting, right? See, picking the right skill is going to be part of that strategy I talked about. You think the mainstream is all learning copywriting? You think the mainstream is all understanding what a brand is? You think the mainstream is all understanding how does third-party drop shipping logistics work? You think the mainstream is understanding like what's the best funnel in 2023? I don't think so. So all those things I just listed fall under marketing. We're going to get to that. But it doesn't have to be marketing, right? I'm just telling you, pick skills that are probably going to fulfill your goals. If you had said how to make your grandchildren love you more than anything, I'm not sure this is the video you should be watching, right? You might need to learn knitting. You might need to learn empathy. You might need to learn listening. It has nothing to do with rich and respected. So you have to first know where you're going in life. And if you're still watching here at the 22nd minute, how long have I been talking? Oh yeah, there's a countdown, that's right. But my point is that we're all in control at this stage, right? Some people are out there hunting for jobs, and that's cool. If you got to do that, you got to do that. You may or may not gain skills as you do that. You could also do Uber or DoorDash, and equally, you're probably not getting skills while you do that. There's an opportunity cost to everything we do. When you're here right now, you aren't doing something else. So the cost of watching this stream is not just the 23 minutes so far. Be aware of that. You can always watch the replay. Well, maybe you can't. So pick skills, perhaps, that use your time to pick skills that make sense for you and what your goal is. And like I said, if you're still watching here, you probably want to become rich and respected in 2024, as I titled this video. So what do you need to do? High demand skills, right? There's no point of doing low demand skills unless those are incredibly high income skills. And that's number 2, high income skills. So some skills are no income, some skills are low income, and some skills are high income. What would I classify as high income? Well, I'd say if you break it down, $50 an hour. I didn't say it's high ticket, and I didn't say you don't have to work hard. But if you do 40 hours a week, you're making $100K a year, right? So to me, if I could learn a skill that makes me $100K a year, that's high income, right? So $50 an hour. So that's what it means. So what are the skills that you can get paid $50 an hour? That's what we need to discuss. That's what we need to solve. That's what we need to teach you. That's the knowledge you don't have. If I was choosing, I'd also want remote capable skills. Can I get a 2 in the chat if there's anyone who wants remote capable skills? Like, you could do lawn care, landscaping, painting. Those businesses are tried and true. But you're going to have to be in the area to some degree. You can't take a vacation anytime you want. You can't travel anytime you want. Not that you should be traveling a lot at all anymore. It's not even as good as it once was. But you should have the freedom to move so that you can maximize your life benefits, your tax benefits. That's really what it is. You know, poor people ultimately pay a lot of tax, and rich people ultimately avoid tax. And they have the vehicles to do so because a business is the starting vehicle for tax avoidance. The next one is a trust. The next one is a holding corporation. Like, you just don't know about those yet, so you can't use them yet, but you don't need them yet because you don't have the high income yet. One step at a time. Trainable skills. Don't forget, like, you could master some sort of artistic skill, but you'd have to do it for the rest of your life. And if you're good with that, if that's your ikigai, all the power to you. Great. But I'd also want a skill that if I wanted to, I could have one other person doing it, and we could do it together, and I could profit from that, right? So the insight is that you're in control of your life, but you have to take your mind out of the mainstream so you can gain space to start thinking about these things. Because when you're in the mainstream of information, there's very little time to think. There's always something new to discuss, examine, reveal, learn, understand. So why would you want to learn these skills? Well, I don't know if everyone here knows this. I don't know if everyone watching knows this, but you should know this, is that a skill is essentially a small business if you can get someone to pay you to do that skill. And that leads you into the building of potentially a real business. Now, that's going to require you to add a few more skills. But if you can learn one skill, why can't you learn another? And if you want, why not learn the business development skills so that you can become an owner? And that's really the first major milestone that you are on the path to becoming rich and respected, is that you are becoming an owner of things. Like, it's cool to have a fancy condo, but if you don't own it, like, okay, I mean, should we have respect for that? I think ownership is more powerful than anything. I think it shows a certain level of responsibility required in certain things to maintain the asset, whether that's a real estate unit, a digital asset, an online business or brand. But essentially what we do here is we take our skills and we turn them into a process of value. Meaning when I use my skill to complete a little process that has maybe 5 to 10 steps, somebody can pay me to do that for them. That might be to brainstorm, draft, edit, and write some piece of media. An article, a press release, a blog post, a sales page, an email. Those are all things that are processes of values. We could even call them a microservice. Microservice is a cool word. It kind of reduces the fear. What if you could have a microservice? What if you just had a side hustle with a microservice? What if you could establish a microservice, watch it work, have low pressure, and scale it up from there? We'll get to that. So just as we were able to design the skill roadmap, and hopefully you are doing that with someone who's been there, who can guide you, not just by yourself. That was step 2, right? But you're also in the control of who your process of value might be for. Because I'll tell you, there's a big difference writing blog post for Sally at the gym versus press release for the White House. You know, there's a big difference there, but it's almost the same skill. One person's more experienced and has learned to utilize the writing skill in a different format, but both people are just doing this. Both people are just knowing what is the right button to click next. A lot of microprocesses are really about clicking buttons and knowing the right button. The faster you are, the more precise you are, the less you need to know because you've established a hard skill, the faster your microservices become. If you were charging $50 for a microservice and it was taking you 1 hour, you're getting a high income. What if you could do it in half the time? You just doubled your income. What if you could automate it and cut it by another 25%? You just quadrupled your income. You're now making $200 an hour. Now, we didn't talk about how do you get more people yet, but you at least have to do that basic math for yourself and see a pathway towards leverage. There is no point of me telling you all of this if at the end of the road, all that happens is you burn out and give up. That's stupid. So coming back to, you are in control of who your process of value is for. And we all need to face this question all the time because we could all pretty much look higher typically for people with more money, people with bigger problems, and people who want to grow faster. I mean, those are the kind of people who pay other people to do services or microservices. They have money, they have a problem, and they need to grow. Simple as, right? So think hard. Why are you trying to do services for people with no money? Why do you continually sell to people with no problem? Why do you work with companies who don't care about growing? That all wouldn't make sense. So you have to start with some obviouses and say, okay, if I need people with money who have a problem and want to grow, they need to solve that problem fast or else they can't grow. It's that simple. Why is growing so important? Because we live in a capitalist competitive marketplace. And if they don't grow, someone else will. And here's a cool thing. When you offer microservices to one and they say no, take it to the other one. And talk to them both and say, hey, I'm telling the other person. Because that actually concerns people that you may have value, but their competitor's getting you. Right? So if you're going to be in control of these things and you can't decide these things for yourself, you better ask your guide or mentor to answer these things for you. Because you can't sell to people with no money, with no problems. It's very difficult. So please start from the right spot today. If you decide, you know what? I'm going to try to start a microservice. Great. Do it for someone with money. First question. Is your microservice for rich people? Checkbox, yes. I write blog posts for people who run 2+ businesses. No one has 2 businesses without having a decent amount of money. It's very, 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 very rare. Because you would just work on one business to get more money. The reason you're having 2 businesses is you're ready to take more risk. Why would you add a second business, an entire layer of risk profile? Doesn't make sense. You must have a decent amount of money. Oh, and you have 2 businesses, you have a big problem. You have no time. Another big problem. You have to pay 2 different people for 2 different businesses. What if I paid one person for both? I'm getting thirsty. So at this point, you've built your skills, you chose some skills, you've established who those skills are for, and you've accepted what it's going to take. Now, at this point, you have to ask yourself, is one microservice enough? Because just start with one, right? Make it simple for yourself. If yes, all you got to do is build more awareness to yourself and build a business like everyone else. Just get more and more people to know about it. You already have obviously offered it and people are happy with it. If the answer is no, you add a second process, a second microservice. So I do blog posts and I do emails, or I do videos and podcasts, or I do landing pages and VSLs. You know, things that people would want 1 or 2 of. Now, we haven't even talked about full stack. Don't get me started on that greatness. We haven't even talked about, I can't even talk about that. That's privileged information, actually. Sorry. Yes, I'm not privileged to speak about that yet. The point is, you may need multiple microservices, right? That's fine. And there's a lot of agencies, you go to their website, you know, they have a big list of things they do. Why is that? That's the model they think is right. There's multiple models that work. We'll get to that. So now you're saying to yourself, okay, I'm moving into marketing my own business, or I'm still skilling up, adding a new process and making sure that I have the ability to skill up, to provide a service so that I can earn enough income from that, right? If your first microservice is only like $15 per item, okay, that's fine. It's going to be hard to reach your goals though. So your second service, try to make it more expensive. Maybe you're thinking, what are my services? What's the best way to start? Well, I think it's important to know that when it comes to growth companies, people who want to grow, and we said that was a bit of a prerequisite, the biggest area of business is marketing. 20 to 40% of costs are coming from marketing and media. As well, and that's including the salaries for all those people that have to work on that, right? It's a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort. Ads, email, website, content, social. Let's see if I have a little picture for you guys. I don't know if you can see that, but it's this company showing their operating expenses. They spend $50K a month in ad spend. Ad management, $3K, email, SMS, $3K, website, $1K, content, $2K, organic social, $1K, customer support, $1K, influencer marketing, $1K, VA, $1K. Look at all that marketing expense every single month. SaaS, $3K, salary, $12K, consulting, $1, accounting, $2, legal, $500, insurance, $500, meals, $500, right? Those are just small potatoes. So I think maybe you've realized, maybe you haven't, we focus typically on marketing at our company and helping people develop skills in that realm of things. Now, marketing is quite vast, as I just showed you. It also typically includes some element of sales. So it's certainly a vast area to focus on, but I think that's the opportunity, is that there's thousands of various microservices that could be created for marketing and for all of the different types of companies out there. So, if you're watching this video and you're trying to find a model that helps you make money, you really have to make sure you think it out, right? There's a lot of challenges with things like drop shipping, with the traditional agencies, and even with freelance. And moving into more of a microservices mindset, productizing what you offer, keeping it sort of standardized. And there's some really cool models and tactics you can use, subscription models that are coming out. That's sort of what I talk about in my main programs is, the modern models that are effective, they are changing, absolutely, because people's expectations are changing. The guarantees people are putting out are shifting, not just in how powerful they are, but in how BS they are. And it's gotten so hormosified out there that you actually want to cut the noise sometimes and go counterculture. And you really need an up-to-date program and people in the trenches to be able to talk to you about that. What you end up learning can often be a year behind, and you have to be careful of that because the market is shifting. But I like microservices because I think they're simple to offer. They're very clear. And you can just start with one at a time. Before you know it, you're quite a service provider, 6, 7, 10, 20, 50 skills that translate into small vendor-based services, media, pages, campaigns. So I think that as you walk away from this, you know that you don't know enough. You need to keep learning. You recognize you can't do what everyone else does. You're already here seeking guidance and developing a plan of action. You're maybe a bit uncomfortable right now or in disbelief. It's okay. Some of the key things you need to think about over the next 90 days is leverage, authority, and becoming multidimensional. Please surrender to this craft if it is within your skill set and strengths. Decide that you're going to become great in the marketing industry. Double down on what's working for you, your skills, manage your weaknesses, deepen, add skills, high demand skills, high income skills, remote capable skills, trainable skills. Use your skills to establish a process of value and make that process of value for people who want to grow, who have a problem around time or an obstacle of knowledge or skill. They have money. Make sure that you're not learning too much, but also not too little. Establishing a sensible set of microservices that are scalable. This doesn't have to be small potatoes. You could become the number one vendor of VSLs in the world. You could be the number one vendor of SEO articles in the world. It's possible. Just be one thing. If it's scalable, right? You have to make sure it is. You have to think about what that means. Could you do 100? And is it trainable? That's why you have to ask that question. We're sticking into the marketing department because there's a lot of expenses there every single month. And now you are faced with this question. Do I already have these skills and I'm ready to move forward? I'm ready to launch a microservice? Or do I need to learn these skills because I agree with this non-traditional, non-mainstream pathway that is designed to help me gain income and respect because I'm becoming an owner of something? And my skill is focused into something narrow, therefore mastery will arrive in time, and you can potentially become great and maybe the GOAT. Why is Amazon so big? Why is Tesla so powerful? Process. The masters of process. Okay? Microservices is about mastering your process. Sometimes you hook processes together. Sometimes you do one process, it opens up another one. There's all sorts of pathways here that begin with a single process, a single input and output. And none of these processes have to be highly customized, right? You don't even have to sit down with someone and say, okay, so what do you want? They say, I want a blog post with keyword snorkeling, and you deliver it. They say, edit this video and make it poppin'. You do it. See, there's some clients who need to have a say over everything. That's just the way they are. That's the type of people they are. They care so much. They want to be perfectionist. And there's some people who have said, I have to let go in order to grow. And if you can find a person like that, they're not going to want to have meetings with you. They're not going to want to talk to you about every little thing you're doing. They're going to want the output that they gave you the input for. Return, execute, deliver, speed. Templates, processes, software, automation, repetition, leverage. As Russell Brunson would say, you're one microservice away. Well, that was about 39 minutes of discourse that should help you. You may go on your way, start doing the skills. What does that mean? God, tell us more. Give us more. Spoon feed us. Put it on a platter. I mean, guys, I was doing what you're trying to do like 12 years ago. Buying ads on random networks, selling random antivirus apps. Like, God, we would do whatever it takes. And we just had one little forum. It was called the Black Hat World. You know, there was nothing else out there for us who wanted to solve this at the prosumer level. If you weren't involved at a big agency, there's nothing. You can't do anything. There's no one talking, no one teaching, no one knows. There's no YouTube yet for tutorials. People were just blogging at the time. You had to learn every single thing through a blog. Think of how much more time we had to spend back then just learning something basic and trying to understand someone's strategy through blog posts and hope that they had good categorization so that you could follow it. There was no algorithms. There's no suggested. Bad news, guys. You only have 5 days left to learn these skills from me in my masterclass. I'm closing the masterclass. As of September 30th, it's no longer available. And you know what's funny? You'd think, oh, he must be closing it because it's not making money. No, we're closing it because it's far too valuable. And we want people to take our more expensive programs. We believe in those programs even more because of the deeper accountability. Look, people buy my course all the time. They love the Digital Marketing Masterclass, 5 stars all the way. It's the best course people have ever taken. No one has covered more in such a concise way than I have. And that's the problem. I think that I've hurt my own business by making this course so good. I just keep adding and making it better, and you can learn an entire degree's worth of knowledge times 10 in a matter of weeks. It's so precise. And that's what I realized. I was like, wow, this is the problem in our business. This is why we're not going to the next level, is people just get the lowest cost and they get everything. So it's the end of an era. It's quite sad. I definitely don't feel excited about it. I feel like I have to try this and do this. So at Rich and Niche, we don't sell courses anymore. We're going to be selling an outcome. And that's the thing. Our courses got so good. We were able to stop thinking like courses. And we were thinking about, hey, we're transforming lives. We're helping people become entrepreneurs. We're helping people earn income from home or from wherever they need to in the world. We're helping people learn so many skills that they can actually start a business. How can you start a business off a $300 thing? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It is so underpriced. It's underpriced by 100. It honestly is. So, what is the masterclass at this moment? It's a bunch of courses and access to our community that gives you a very all-encompassing experience around these topics. You can come to richandniche.com/masterclass and you'll get to watch this video if you want. I'll put a link below. What I want to show you. Yeah, I'm just going to walk through sort of some of the courses and what they look like inside, because there's not going to be any more marketing materials around this stuff going forward. You can't find it. It will be gone. Because I don't want to be known for a course anymore. I've achieved something more. I have 50 plus people who've told me that their life has changed because of the work we do. We have to be able to recognize the value we provide. And honestly, because of the inflation, I felt bad for people. I felt bad of how difficult of a time we're in. As someone who's sort of a mid-tier earner now with 2 kids, it is a horrific economic time right now, because a lot of the things you need as you get a family and you have a house, they're extraordinarily expensive right now. And some of those things you don't even think about when you're sort of earlier in your career. Maybe you're renting downtown in a condo. I did that part of my life too. The expenses really jump up, and I just know it's painful for all sorts of groups. And we are trying to help people earn more money, and it's painful to ask for a lot of money when all you're trying to do is help. But here's the craziest thing I've learned. The people who pay more get better results. The people who pay less, they often quit because they were never emotionally invested from the start. They never really wanted it. They wanted to click a button and hope something changed. Even we gave them the craziest pathway, the easiest path to making a better income. They just click the button and give up because that's who they are. I can't stop them, but I can't help them. So we're not even helping people by letting them click this button. And keeping the price low, they don't realize how amazing it is and that they should be going all in on this opportunity. Pour one out for the masterclass, guys. It's got 5 days left. Full Stack Marketing Funnels is an incredibly eye-opening course around the simplicity of what funnels can be and how you can turn attention into email contacts. And from there, everything great begins. You can continually market through email. You can remarket using a custom audience from that email. And that's all you really need. There's a few key steps when you make a marketing funnel, and one of the number one things is the precise front-end offer, also known as a lead magnet, giveaway, even a tripwire, free book, even a webinar to some degree. Crafting the perfect one is important. It sets up everything else, and that's probably the number one value in this course. I teach copywriting strategies in this course. You don't need endless swipe files. You have to have foundational knowledge of what copy is and how it works. Our courses are far more foundational, far more timeless than most you'll find elsewhere. One of the main courses I've also created that's included in the Masterclass is called Content Maximizer. What a beautiful course. Really teaching people how to extend the value of the little media they have. Most companies are struggling to produce media. You'll notice the biggest and best influencers and companies in the world produce a lot, original, native. But when you're down and you're making $30K a month and you've got 6 employees and you're grinding leads, you don't always have the time. So to be able to take one video and expand it into different kinds of media is the best thing you could do in that situation. That's what this is all about. Today, I tell you, the next thing I'd want people to know is nothing replaces world-class content. Content Maximizer is a B strategy when money and time is tight. It's still valuable, but I hope people don't think you have to skip out on making great media and great content. Full stack Facebook ads should be called meta ads. Doesn't matter. This course is going away. You'll never see it again. I gave all the secrets that I apply when I create an ad campaign. See, the settings change every month. The platform changes every month. You got to keep skilling up and knowing that, but that's not the key. The key is the methodology that you apply to continually optimize your funnel, top of funnel ads, and remarketing ads. You have to have a methodology that is tried and true, okay? Next is no-code web developer. This rounds out what the masterclass was really all about. If I teach you how to make web pages without any code, and then I teach you how to make a funnel in those web pages so that people look at the page and say, yes, I'd like that for free, or I'd like to purchase that. And then I teach you how to get the most out of your content and or run an ad. You should be able to do a lot with that. But of course, Rich, how do I get clients? Rich, what about Google this, Google that? Rich this, Rich that. So bonus after bonus we came up with until we realized we were just giving too much away. So first of all, you get access to our community. We have hundreds and hundreds of members. And I could tell you for a fact right now, there's 30 to 50 of them currently studying in the training programs and or conversing in the discourse and or like the good community members they are here on this live stream. You're also getting access to a lot of call recordings, endless knowledge transfer from me over 3 years. We have a Discord server. It's very, very, very good. It's very, very, very active. It's very, very, very excellent. It's basically 24/7 support. So what's so amazing is that if you don't know how to do something, you go to Google, you ask. Then you go ChatGPT, you ask. You still don't have your answer. You come to the community, you can ask. If you know it's a community-based question, you can ask. We're not opposed to it. We just want people to make sure they do their own due diligence before they ask. But it's 24/7 support. And what most people use it for is, I got a client, now what? Okay, I'm doing this for the client. Can you look it over? And we all look it over. Okay, I just made this site. What do you guys think? How can I improve it? So when you work with me and our community, you almost have like this endless support backing that I can't even value. What is the value of that? To me, it's $25,000 and up. Because you don't pay for it, but yet you can get 24/7 answers from me and the community. I don't know, man. I don't know what we're doing sometimes. Okay, Quest Pass, not a huge deal. I made a few little quests. I try to make more, but there are some actions you can take that will really accelerate all of this. Go do them. Make your own niche website. Get certified with Google. There's a bunch of them. I'm not going to focus on this. It's not the meat. Okay, now we just have endless tools and templates. Okay, you need to audit a funnel. Made it dead easy. Need to run a discovery call? Everything you need to know and say. Need to write a contract? There's 6 templates that are plug and play. Need to build out a target avatar and help your client write that out? Use my avatar template. Onboarding questionnaire. Content managed system. Content creation framework. Someone just told me this by far is the most valuable thing in the course. Said it's worth $500 alone. Client comms. Take it out. This is BS. I can't believe we gave this away for this price. You get to listen to 25 plus of my real client conversations, exactly word for word what I was saying in real time to that client's question or concern, from discovery calls to sales calls to strategy and coaching. And if you want it, if you want to be a true Notion god, this will really get you going. I created something called Commander, the digital marketing operating system. Okay? Teaching you how to use databases and templates to make your life just a dream. Leverage, automation, simple. Bartek Bialski says, I got a client just 3 days after buying the course. The Masterclass should be valued at $20,000. Okay, fine. What else is there to say? Okay. There's 3 tiers. I see that we only included some bonuses on the 3rd tier. Come get the 3rd tier. It's a no-brainer. Click go to checkout. Type in the word skills, and I'll give you an extra 30% off because I'm saying goodbye. Because there won't really be support for this course. I mean, yes, there is. You have community support. But this course, this specific bundle, you know, who's to say what happens, right? So, you know, where am I going with all this? What's going to happen is, well, we're just going to be raising all the prices and we're just going to be selling the outcome now. Start your own digital marketing businesses. It's not about a course. It's not about one thing. We'll teach you whatever you need to know to get that outcome. We will work with you until you get your clients. And that's where we're going. We're not going to be a course anymore. We are essentially a business development service that can take you from A to Z, from skill-based training, business development, and ready to sell. And that's what we've been doing in the lab. We've been doing that for 6 cohorts now, which means a year and a half. I've had 6 sold out cohorts, at least 10 people in each cohort. The price is going up a lot in the cohort as well. So probably have less people, but more intimate, more serious, right? I think it's all about getting more serious, guys. I think people are like, oh, well, what does this mean? What is this all about? It's about getting more serious. It's about saying, if we can offer people the highest output, why worry about the people who aren't trying? Why worry about the people who are kicking tires? Why worry about them? They were never going to get the outcome anyways. Yes, I would have been able to capture maybe some income and revenue from that sale. But at what cost? They don't get an outcome, so they didn't try. So they can't say 5 stars maybe, you know? We don't want that. Although that never happens. But I just think that the nature of something like online education is that if you can, you do level it up. And that is actually showing the commitment and mastery to it. Instead of, I see what a lot of other people might do. They make a course that's not even in their world, and then they just get further and further away from it, caring less and less and less about it, and just drifting off into insignificance instead of becoming GOAT, right? Our program is currently potentially, in the running. We'll see. We'll see at the end of the game which companies took the most people and transformed their life. And there's lots of people doing them in all sorts of different ways. And that's the game, right? We're in the internet world where we can help people from abroad. It's not a gimmick. It's a revolutionary new way to serve value, which means new business models and methodologies, whether you're doing services or training. You see, training is just consulting on services. It's the same world. I'm still in the same world. We're just talking about, I took a skill, I can do it for you, or I can show you how to do it on your own. It's the same thing. My course is just DIY, build an online business, right? So let's say goodbye to the Masterclass.
You're fired.
Headshot.
And let's look to bigger, better, more serious outcomes. More mastery, more greatness, more commitment. You down? Can you do it? Hit the like button. Leave a comment below. Will you be more rich and respected by 2024? Will you take action? Will you start a microservice? Will you expand your services? Will you take on something bigger? Will you commit to the process? Will you say no to the mainstream? Will you surrender to your path? Will you accept your inadequacies? Will you cherish your strengths and double down on them? Will you manage and deal with your weaknesses? Let me know what you're going to do. Let me know what you're willing to commit to. Let me know how you might make a change. Let's do it together. Let's do it at Rich and Niche. That's what we're doing every day, every single day. We come to the Discord, we go to the GM channel, and we say good morning, and we begin the journey again. We carry on. We take the next step. We move forward. We ask questions. We support. We advise. We practice. We reward. We keep each other accountable. We entertain. We laugh. We share. We strategize. We think. We build. What's the greatest thing you've ever been a part of? What's the biggest thing you've ever been a part of? What's the most serious thing you've ever been a part of? Share it in the chat. Have you ever been a part of like a martial arts dojo or some sort of like justice group or some type of art project like city murals? Have you ever planted a forest of trees? Have you ever helped people change their life for the better? Have you ever helped people get out of the rat race? 21,000 viewers. Welcome, everyone. Let's do some shout outs. Yovan, my man, Dex, Haria, Amir, Ruzikesh, Matei, A2Z, Milosh, Jasmine. Good to see you guys. Hope you enjoyed today's call. There's not a lot of news going on in AI right now. I mean, sure, there are some top stories. OpenAI is going to release their multi-model app. You can take pictures of stuff. You can use your voice. Pretty powerful stuff. Other than that, there's been some progress in everything, but nothing that I see as absolutely substantial. I really believe that, GPT-4 has been gutted a little bit. It seems pretty weak compared to what it once was. And I just think there's a lot of BS going around artificial intelligence, AGI, general intelligence, GPT-5, GPT-6. There's people talking about that kind of stuff, but nothing of interest, guys. Pretty slow week in my opinion. And honestly, I spent a lot of time working on a new funnel and didn't use any AI. Didn't feel like it could help me. When you're doing $1 million funnels, you cannot use AI yet. It's not that good. You have to be the goat of the copy. You have to be the goat designer. You cannot use AI. I'm sorry. AI, though, will become incredible for certain microservices. Absolutely. What if your microservice is just this? I will get you 5 AI images based on your keyword for your blog this week. Great. What if you also have another service that says, I will write a newsletter and insert those images? So AI will play a role in some areas, especially in small format content. AI should not really be doing the front end heavy duty stuff. What AI is really good for, in my opinion, is when you're doing especially ephemeral content that's not time lasting, where you need to come up with a lot of different unique ideas to make the content effective. For instance, nicknames, creative names, angles, headlines, things where you need a lot of variations to choose from. Yeah, AI is doing some stuff there for sure. Absolutely. Tons. No doubt. You're using AI, you don't even know it. But don't use AI for your sales pages right now, and don't use AI for your social media copy. I've let a lot of people work on my social media in the last year just because I've been really busy with the 2 kids. But when I make a full comeback, there won't be an ounce of GPT there. I've given a lot of people trouble for using GPT because I don't believe in it I don't like it when people use it without telling me. I think you have to be extremely transparent. Let's do a little clip here. Okay, this is a very important thing we need to talk about right now. Digital marketers should be very cautious using ChatGPT when they are employed by someone else. If you are not saving your prompts and getting permission to use them, you could be doing a lot of damage to a brand you don't realize. You may think it's better copy than what you can create, but there's certainly going to be some lasting effects from, this company's using too much AI copy, it's not that thought out. And there's just some markers of AI usage that I don't like and I would never do them. And, I just think it's kind of obvious sometimes. And so I'm trying to learn how to use that. And I think a lot of companies are going through that. And I think we have to kind of figure that out. But you as a digital marketer should be very cautious. And if anything, you have to save the prompt and show the prompt to your advisor or manager or whoever has authority, because you have to have the tone and language really good. Someone posted something for me today, and I think it said one-stop shop. I've never used that word before. I don't use that kind of quick, easy, simplistic sort of language to describe my product very often. I don't know if they wrote that, but it's something GPT would write, you know? And so even if it sounds close, the word usages, you know, brands are going to have to come up with negative word lists to fine tune their LLM models, because otherwise you can't really rely on this to be front end, you know? So be very careful if you're suddenly using GPT for your clients and not telling them and that you made that change. I think if they hired you after you started using it, maybe you wouldn't have to say much, but I think, yeah, it's a very thing to be very cautious about, because the brand tone is making a subtle shift without you realizing it, and as well as the perception of the content. So I really think that the future actually will have more some sort of proof and verification that it's authentic writing. I don't know how we're going to do that, but I think it's actually thoughtful of brands to actually somehow signal when AI is being used. Like if you use an AI image, maybe there should be just a little tiny AI symbol in the bottom. Like maybe we should not try to trick people so much, you know, and we should also respect our viewers. I don't know. I've been thinking about that. Like the top companies are competing so that they can take over the world with this stuff. And then here we are sort of having to deal with it at the prosumer work-based level. And we have to discuss all these ethical and things. And then they're just probably like, you know, controlling the world with this stuff. I mean, I already believe that AI is running most of the world. I'm not going to get into that today. That's another topic. But if you ask me, there's one big project that came out in the last 4 years. It's a very extremely polarizing project that came out. And if you follow that project, it's so amazing. It's so hard to believe. It's so polarizing. It's almost perfectly designed. I'm not going to tell you what that project is. You have to figure it out for yourself, because it is so polarizing. And I think that that project, when I first observed it, I was like, wow, this is so awesome. How could someone create this? It's so social. It's so interactive. It's so longevity. It's so perfect. And then I look at today what AI agents can do, and I can see how I could prompt that project out and say, this is what I'm wanting to do. I want people to go back 2 years and be like, what? There's a connection here? I want social media accounts to say something at specific times to give a powerful numerology effect. Prompt that shit in, man. Like that's what AI can do. And so I suspect that AI is already running the world, that AGI has been here for 50 years, that they had to maybe not tell us because it wouldn't make sense, because it would reveal how far along certain technologies are. But this whole game of 3.5, 4, 5, 6, no AGI, yes AGI, to me it's just a crock. We've seen what this is. Okay? Maybe it doesn't pass the Turing test. Maybe it's not always aware. But it can be fine-tuned to tell you that. What is intelligence? What's the difference between human intelligence and machine intelligence? What a time to be alive. Right? What a time. Well, I think it's a great time to end. I hope that you have ascended to some degree. I'm certainly feeling a bit emotional about saying goodbye to the Masterclass. It's served many. It's certainly served me. Helped me reach a new level of authority. But I hope it's also a sign of growth and a sign of evolution. Version 2.0. Going to the next level. And I wish the same for everyone here. And I hope that I can document a pathway that you can follow. Because if you can do microservices for your clients, you can do microservices for yourself. And that's all I've done here. I built the same funnels I built for my clients. I send the same emails I send for my clients. I make the same kind of videos that I make for my clients. And if you're good, you'll do just fine selling whatever you like, whatever you want. And you have to choose that market. You have to say who has money, who needs help, who wants to grow. You have to find your market. And I think the entrepreneurial creator economy, gig economy is a beautiful marketplace because you're helping people who are trying to break out and leave the rat race. That's an honorable thing, right? After I got my first law client, I could have just stayed in law, but it was a little bit intense and it's a little bit dry and it's competitive and challenging. And you have to decide like, okay, I can maybe make a lot, but at what cost? Who am I really helping? What am I serving here? Am I enjoying the people I'm working with? These are all slightly more intermediate things you'll think about as you progress in your entrepreneurial career. Just start with one microservice. Writing, communicating online, basically. Pick something within there. If you can do that, you can quickly level up into advertising as well. Then all you need to do is understand how do websites work. How do I put stuff on websites and make it look good? What are the best templates I can use without people caring? How can I go as fast as possible? How can I make the message matter more than the medium? It's a winnable game. It's a solvable problem. And from here, your life becomes uncapped. From here, you have new opportunities and you get to design a life. Right now, I'm designing my life to be heavily around parenting, heavily around managing a household. Sometimes it's around traveling and exploring. Sometimes it's around grinding and working 12-hour days. You want that power back. And that's what this was all about. Taking the power back. Taking your power back. You were born with power. You were born with God-given rights. You were born with strengths. Take that power back. Bring the awareness back. Take it back. I'll take 1 or 2 questions from the chat. You have 60 seconds to submit your question now. Time's up. How do we gain clarity in life? By asking far more specific questions. I don't like money. Oh no. I love it. Interesting. We all have unique relationships with money. Love is certainly one we see. We also see hate. Interesting. Question from the chat, and it looks like a beauty. If we're moving away from Hormozi style offers, how do we offer these microservices? Wow, you really got me there. I'm stumped. If only I had a program that could teach you that solution. Simple answer is you position yourself for speed, not for results. Remember when I talked about having 2+ businesses? There's so many marketing services that are needed that are not about results, right? Position yourself as a per service, itemizable retainer. Create a rule where you're only allowed to perform one microservice at a time for any given client, but they can choose from any of your menu services. They can choose things over and over again. They can choose things once at the beginning and be done with it. Let people choose their path. Let people choose. But in order to get such incredible speed, quality, and variability, it comes with a great cost. It starts at $3,000 a month. Average request takes 3 to 4 business days, ideally 2. Everything you do takes less than 30 minutes. All microservices can be completed in less than 30 minutes, ideally 5. You serve one item at a time. If your client wants to make 10 requests, they may, but you will serve them one at a time. If they don't request, they still pay. You are always available. Every month they pay. It's a different kind of model. It's not an offer. It's a service set. And you choose what you need when you need it. I need a blog post today. I need a video edit today. I need an email today. Make that 4 more emails. Need a landing page. Need a landing page for the other brand. Need a quick brand strategy. Nope. Need a keyword research. Need an SEO page optimization. Done, 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 done. Next month. Okay. Need a YouTube strategy. Need 3 Instagram post bundle. Need a Facebook ad setup. Need another landing page. Need an optimized landing page. Need a split test landing page. Break it all down. Everything is an individual service. Everything has an individual time. You could use a credit-based system. You could have certain services costing more credits than others. You could have third-party vendors who work with you on certain services that you don't do. You can have a small suite of services designed specifically for certain situations, or you can go full stack. Because when you're working with a dangerous entrepreneur like me, who's going to have multiple businesses, I don't really need you to do mock-ups. I need you to get the work done fast so we can go fast. I need an ad up now. I need an analytics report now. It's on demand. If you want a Hormozy style offer, you can still follow the same format, but it's one big package, one big set of things, and everyone gets the same set, but it's bigger, complex. Why is Elon Musk the richest person in the world? Because he's built the most complex processes and he's learned to leverage automation by far the most. You could still use a Hormozy style offer. It's not about that really. It's about saying, do I want to promise people things and do everything customized all the time, forever and always, and be doing proposals? Or would I like to say, here's how I do it. Just tell me what you need. Here's what I can do. That's what I did. And that's when I was being paid on a retainer the most, is I did on-demand microservices, and sometimes they became routine. It's okay, let's just keep doing that same thing we did last week. Let's do it again. I need the video edited, content maximized, posted to LinkedIn, email blast. Oh yeah, and go edit my 30-second ad for next month's webinar. Sure, happy to do it. Just sent you an invoice. $2,500 a month. That's the basement price. That's the basement. You do not offer this for less. Why? Because you're on demand. You have to be ready. So instead, you get 4 clients on demand, each paying you $2,500 for access to your microservice list. They can request anything at any time, as much as they want. You do one at a time, 4 hours a day, 1 hour a day dedicated to each client to do up to 2 microservices for each client. Raise your price to $5,000 a month. Same 4 clients, $20K a month. Same deal. Add a person, raise your price again. Always try to meet the speed and quality requirements necessary. Have a standard of quality, but nothing's really that customized. There's not long meetings discussing every aspect. It's a different thing for a different kind of person. This isn't for Sally in the marketing manager to have all her decision makers go over every little thing for a friggin' button. AI cannot be used for forecasting because it doesn't know anything but the past. So it can predict based on the past, but that's just going to be a repetition of the same patterns. Did you really need AI for that? Now, AI what could it do is I could see it taking multiple data sets that's seemingly random, that suggest hard, complex patterns that we've not observed as humans. That's probably what it can do. So if we want to forecast, we would start pulling different data sets and asking it to see what are the patterns of these all together. I think it could do that really well. Could strategy ever fit the unlimited requests? Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, it works better that way because you just productized it, right? You can say, is this a content strategy? Is this a funnel strategy? Is this an overarching brand strategy? And when you purchase that, it just takes longer if that's what it does. It just takes 8 days. It says boost next to it. It says premium next to it. It has a star next to it. And people will know I'm choosing a premium option from Dex. It's going to take longer, but I only do it once a quarter or once a year. So I'm cool with that. And you could even say to people, listen, this is the signature bundle. You click this in this order. If you don't want all that, don't click it. Click what you want. But I can show you the signature process, audit, SWOT, opportunities, plan, implement, execute. Like, show them the signature path. Say, do you want the signature? The signature is typically accomplished over 3 months using this following pathway. Whatever it is. So don't have to promise people that every task takes the same length. We come back to the thing where you're in control of what you choose. So stop choosing deliverables that take 3 hours. Start choosing deliverables that can be done in 30 minutes or less, or you can foresee that AI or automation is going to help you in the future. I'm sorry, everyone. That's it for me today. I hope you had a great stream. Like this stream, please subscribe. Check out richandniche.com. We're having a sale until the end of the month. And then it's a whole new era. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next Tuesday, same time. My journey started with a desire for freedom, where I could set my own schedule, where I could define my own rules. I wanted to travel without permission, to be available for my family when they need me, and to build a healthy, sustainable, remote-capable lifestyle. My path led me to full-stack digital marketing. I believe a comprehensive understanding of digital marketing as a communications tool is the #1 unlock to life right now. Being a freelancer is not an easy path to take.
There's always going to be risks. But the harsh truth is that all profit is derived from risk. So I recommend you start taking a risk or two if you desire a life beyond the mediocre. Risk will bring immense change to your life, and the downsides are rarely as bad as you think. Learning how to take more risk is a key element of the modern business owner instead of constantly avoiding risk. There's just no way around this. Everything you ever wanted is on the other side of fear. Use fear as a guide. It will always show you where the resistance is in your life, and oftentimes that is a gateway to a greater life. There is an endless need from businesses for the development of digital user experiences and digital media right now. The freelance digital marketer is in high demand. Please strike while the iron is hot. My name is Rich UX. I'm the founder of Rich and Niche. My mission is to bring freedom to people's lives via digital marketing. Most of my secrets are given away for free on YouTube. Just search Rich and Niche. Say hello on any social media platform at Rich and Niche. I wish you well. May the algorithms be ever in your favor.